Hey everyone, how y'all doing? Now I'm gonna be honest, I've been very off and offy about whether I should have made this video before, but eventually it did come to a point where I felt the need to make this video personally, just so that I can get it off my chest about some things to clarify in regards to the state of my channel and Tabor just as a whole. Now, I know that I mainly did my rebound uh, on my YouTube with Tabor, and I mean if you look at the timeline of my old videos, you would see that my rebound video, so to speak, of when I started taking YouTubing seriously again was a BAR video right around the time when they made a TikTok on or not a TikTok, they made a YouTube short on how good the BAR is on the Ghost of Tabor official YouTube channel. Yeah, and that got a decent amount of video views, and that got me back into the swing of just doing YouTube as a whole. Not well, initially the idea was as a career, but you know, as I went ahead and got a real day job, the need for wanting to actually become a YouTuber. I still want to become a YouTuber, but much less so now that I actually have no real need to to depend on YouTube financially in that sense of the word. Now, if you've been watching any of my recent streams, you will have noticed that we actually haven't been playing Tabor as of recently, and I've explained it on on my streams, of course, but and I may have mentioned it here and there on my videos, but I've never actually talked about it officially. And well, here it go, and it goes something along the lines of there was a point in time where I just felt Tabor was getting incredibly disrespectful of my time because the latency, which may not even be Tabor's fault, it just may be my fault, um, was getting ridiculously high to the point where going live and streaming was just getting absolutely ridiculous to do because the wait times were so incredibly long that I just couldn't feasibly sustain having to to stream, keep up content, and then in the quest and task page I would have to wait for probably about five to ten 5 or so minutes my just for my task page to load. And oh, hold on, give me a moment. All right, first things first, we just spawn in missions. How long does it take to load tasks? I'm gonna swap the task. Okay. You know, as someone who takes the game somewhat seriously as a despite the fact that I'm playing pretty much exclusive PvE. I like the min-max my things. It's just the way I've always played video games, I guess. Is to just min-max things. I mean, there's a reason why I managed to attain the Omega container twice, and that's because I like the idea of just doing everything that the game has to offer. Don't get me wrong, I still enjoy the game, but it was a combination of that and also just wanting to, you know, just start playing other video games that finally gave me the push to actually start playing actual other games. I don't want to be forever known as a Tabor YouTuber. In fact, I've actually never wished to strictly be a Tabor YouTuber. The unfortunate lore of Okami, yes, I know I have lore, was that I wanted to be a generalist YouTuber. I basically only just wanted to cover games that I actually enjoy. And to some extent, I still do that to this day. It was just that at that point in time, or at this current point in time, the, I guess, half a year or longer stretch that was the that was when Tabor was like really booming for me. I decided to make a lot of Tabor content because I was just genuinely enjoying Tabor so much, and the videos were also doing relatively well, so there was also the incentive to keep going. However, eventually, especially after the whole, you know, unsolicited bunker change, which I mean, I was completely fine with personally, but the fact of the matter is that this update was no doubt incredibly rushed, and it did. I'm not hating on Tabor for it, but it did sour my opinion of it a little bit. So all the times when I would say that I'm a #1 Tabor Glazer, I guess, has now been completely diminished, and I no longer hold that title. No, but on a real note, it just became really exhausting to stream Tabor because things were really slow moving. Nothing, because of I would never really encounter any bugs, but but the slow loading time of the whole uh, of everything was in fact slowly starting to get to me, and I just couldn't feasibly keep going. That's why I initially said that Tabor was strictly going to be a recording only game, and much to my promise, I have completely stopped streaming Tabor. I mean, to be fair, another major factor as to why at this current point in time just completely stopped playing Tabor is Resident Evil Requiem. It's a game that I've been waiting for a very long time, and it's not exactly like I don't have my own complaints when it comes to the game or its community in general. I know it's really uh very ironic to say that I have a problem with the community, because if you're watching this video in the first place, chances are that you yourself are part of that community. And the funniest thing is that while I consider myself part of that community as well, I don't like to interact with the community, which is also another very ironic statement, because live streaming is the quintessential and ultimate form of interacting with a community, because you are literally playing with the game. You're literally playing the game live, and you're literally talking to people who share the same interest with you as in the form of the game that you're streaming. But see, my problem lies in with the fact that 60 60 to, I don't know, 50 to 60% of the people who play this game are just straight up teenagers or children, and I don't know what are worse, but both of them are equally angsty and edgy. It got very exhausting to just constantly see everyone keep complaining about the same things under the sun, or worse yet, complaining about bugs to me, even though I'm in no way, shape, or form an actual developer in the sense. So it was kind of like, yeah, okay, you're telling me, but what's the point in telling me, because I myself cannot do anything. The only thing that I can tell you is to go and forward it to the devs themselves and submit a bug report, but you know, I still get them anyways on stream. It's just, and yeah, going back to the whole community thing, it's also very exhausting to deal with a bunch of children who think that they're incredibly funny and edgy just because, and they channel the true attention-seeking behavior through the live streams as well. It's not to say like no other gaming community out there has children or you know, incredibly annoying people. The fact of the matter is that every community will be like this. Every community will complain about the game that they play, and that's just that will just be the truth of it. The problem is that I see it extra with Tabor. And that's saying a lot because I used to play Dead by Daylight, and I still see a bunch of, you know, like I still keep up with Dead by Daylight in the usual sense, but it has never gone to the point where I've felt as frustrated with acknowledging that a community can be this shallow and whiny as with Tabor. So eventually it just got extremely exhausting. And one of the definite factors as to why this video exists in the first place was since I was playing Resident Evil Requiem, or not Resident Evil Requiem, what the fuck? That game hasn't even been out yet. It isn't even out yet. I was doing a Road to Requiem live stream where I would be playing a bunch of the Resident Evil games in preparation to said new Resident Evil release, and I would have people coming in and asking me when I'm going to go back and start playing Tabor again, and I have, matter of fact, been asked when am I gonna play Tabor in my comments again, and you know, I just honestly just started to get really exhausted because I don't know if it is just by the stupid fact that I shot myself in the foot by uploading nothing but Ghost of Tabor videos for however many months straight, or if it's just the fact that people seem to get the impression that I'm a Ghost of Tabor YouTuber. But I have never stated that I'm specifically a Ghost of Tabor YouTuber. I will drop this game on a whim if I feel like it's been incredible, if they go in a direction that I do not agree in. I don't like to talk about it, but I would do so. But I would do so just to hammer in my point. When I was probably about 18 or 18, yeah, when I was 18 was when I first got my exposure to VR, or whenever Resident Evil 4 VR exclusively on the Quest was a thing. That was my first exposure, and my first real exposure outside of you know, just Resident Evil 4 VR was Veil VR, and I used to be Heart Glazer for that game too. And I mean, I've kind of mellowed out over the years. Um, after they started going into a direction that I disagreed with, coupled with some personal issues that I had with the game and the community and the devs. Uh, I used to be like Omega haters. Like I would slam them every single time they were brought up in conversation. I would not hide their feelings. Now I'm more of a now I'm more of on a neutral standpoint because I have come to terms with the fact that no matter how much I'm angry at the game will still continue to thrive because I am one person against the entire community that seems to love the game themselves. So, you know, my opinion doesn't matter much. But what I never did was play that game religiously for as long as I have Tabor. And I think that's mainly because Veil had that release launch mess. And Tabor never really had that, but I never really got into Tabor when it first released either, all the way until they released the PvE update, and it was fun for me because you know, we don't have the modern day issues that we do now concerning servers and stuff like that. So it was never that huge of an issue, at least. But honestly, looking at it now, it seems like it's been fixed. So when all the problems started to surface, I told my viewers that we would keep Tabor to a recording only thing, and I don't plan to go back on that promise, but I just need to make it very clear for anyone who wants or plans to ask me when is my next Tabor stream. Until they do some magical fix, there will be no more Tabor streams. And even if it is fixed, I will not return to Tabor unless I feel like playing it again. I mean, I'm playing it right now, which is, and I am having quite a relative amount of fun playing it right now. Am I recording? Okay. But the fact of the matter is that you know, I've kind of hammed this game out for all that I can. I've pretty much made a I pretty much made every single a video on almost every single gun. There okay, maybe not every single gun, but every single gun that I'm willing to make a video on about, I've already done it. I've also already pretty much just, like, the only things that I can make these days are probably like, I don't know, like a guide or something like that, which, I mean, is probably not even relevant for most people because most people don't play PvP anyways. Or most people don't play PvE anyways. I guess that's another thing to say regarding to the community, was that during the very early stages of the PvE release, people were hell bent on making sure that their opinion that PvP is the absolute superior game mode was a thing, and that was also incredibly annoying. I've gone through a lot with this game, and this is not saying I hate Tabor. It's just that I've played it for however many hours that I have, and it's not a small amount, I'll tell you that much. It's, hold on. I'm trying to check the hours. Trying to check the hours. I played the okay, well, I played this game for half a thousand hours, so I've definitely played for quite a while, and most of these hours are on just purely PvE, mind you. You know, I played for basically like 7 or 8 months. So I would say that I'm definitely at this point in time, I've definitely quite experienced with the game, and I pretty much played all there is. It's just that this particular, it's just that there can only be, I can only play this game so much if every single update they're just going to add stuff that is either completely arbitrary. And don't get it twisted, I still enjoy the game for what it is. I still enjoy the core gameplay loop. It's just that I can't, you know, forever play this game and no, I will not move on to, I will not go and play Exfil Zone. I mean, the whole extraction shooter craze that I had was mainly just from watching a content creator friend of mine, and I mean he still plays it from time to time, but he by no means mainly plays the game anymore. He played it for like a whole year or so, but that has been long gone. And maybe it's a mistake addressing this, because I'm basically telling everyone that I'm no longer going to actually be playing Tabor as a forefront game for streams. And don't get it wrong, I'll still make videos from time to time, but I can definitely tell you one thing for sure, is that you should definitely expect other games these days. And I mean, to be fair, to begin with, I've always played and uploaded other games. It's just that Tabor has always been on the forefront of things, so to speak. I mean, when I played and uploaded my run of Silent Hill F, and I mean, I haven't actually gone ahead and uploaded the rest of the other 3 runs that were of different endings, but that's not really relevant. And I guess I'm just tired of shooting stuff like this anymore. I wanna shoot others things other than Phoenixes these days. Also, there's not to mention is that the gameplay loop kind of incentivizes time padding, because, like, you know, whatever the hell this fucking thing is, it's not like it guarantees spawns there every single time, so you have to rely on RNG for most of these runs. And that's also another thing that at first I was like, I mean, okay, it's not like I've never ever had a problem with it to begin with, but the fact of the matter is that it no matter how you put it, it is a slog to have to constantly run to the same place every single time. Like, specifically, if we were to go to my current missions, I currently can't for the life of me find one singular Yorick skull, and I've probably tried about 30 or 40 raids just trying to find one Yorick skull. And that's the kind of stuff that's like, sure, if I'm making progress passively along with it, then it's fine. But you look at my other quests, and it's literally like I need to find that, and then a bunch of like common items that for some reason don't even want to spawn that often. So I guess it's always to say is that I've eventually and unfortunately got tired of Tabor. Not in a literal sense. I still very much enjoy the game for what it is. I still think that, to me, it's still the best extraction shooter VR out there. And Nothing's gonna change. Nothing's gonna change that unless they do something really really bad. But the fact that but the fact of the matter is that I've put basically half a thousand hours into this, and I can only play this game so much. You know, I can. If I don't know how many of my videos I have left recorded, but if you look at all of them, I mean, to begin with, I've always just talked about other stuff other than the game in general, but especially in recent with the videos that I've been recording, it's been more so I've been talking about other stuff that is not related to Tabor. I still try to keep it on topic or just talk about stuff that's not incredibly relevant, like life, for example. But the truth of the matter is that at the end of the day, you know, there's not much to play in Tabor anymore because I mean the only thing that can happen is either I switch to PvP, which is not gonna happen. I they add new game modes, which they are unlikely to ever do, or or they make say or they allow you to keep your progression, or for PvE they allow you to keep your progression after wipe. Because another point that I have to bring up is that unfortunately there's absolutely no reason for wipes to happen on PvE, because you're not compete. The whole concept of wipes as a whole is to make sure that anyone who joins the game at any point in time will be able to eventually come to a point where everyone will be at the base level again and everyone can compete with each other. That is until, of course, those people who grind immediately all the way up to level 5 within the first week, like me. But the difference between them is that I am not making anyone's life miserable by grinding up the Spectre 5 or Minty 5 right out the gate, because I play with me, myself, and I. So I don't believe that there should be wipes for PvE. And even if you are going and even if you insist on wiping, at least make it an option for us to wipe or not, to do the wipe or not. I get that sometimes you need to add extra stuff, and like maybe that would break the game, but it's like you've added guns mid wipe before. It's not such a crazy concept. If you want to give wipe rewards, you can just put it in the you can just put it as a skin, like you've done with the honey badger, or if you insist on making it a physical gun, which the Tabor devs are already moving away from it. They should just go ahead and just put it in the kiosk, because they can definitely do that. I don't believe that they can't do that. So eventually, no matter how much time I put in, at first I was okay with having to start again, because eventually it did get boring. But it's starting to get to a point where it's like I don't really need to do it anymore. I have absolutely no problem with wiping as and when I want, but at least let me choose it instead of just forcing it down onto me. If you gave me the option to wipe that, or for PvE only, and I need to specify PvE only, it would definitely make me feel like I'm a little bit more incentivized to at least put a certain amount of hours in at the start, and then if I feel like restarting, then I will hit that restart. Because I mean, and you may say like, oh yeah, but Okami, you'll never actually hit that restart. No, I have. I play Sekiro. Uh, I play Sekiro sometimes, and whenever I want to play it again, I always start a new game instead of going off of my new game plus. Even though my new game plus would make sure that I have all those items, because I personally like the journey in Sekiro, to go from 0 to 100. and I just feel like I should be personally given the option to do it myself. You know, I still like to believe that I'm friends with some people at CWS, even though I've been incredibly antisocial as of late and I haven't been talking to any of them. It's just I've just not been in the mood to interact in general, and as far as I'm concerned, most of those people who I'm friends with don't even play Tabor themselves anyways. Most of them, I believe, are from like the media team, and they surely have better things to do than to play Tabor. Except for Artie. Artie definitely plays a lot of Tabor the last I checked. But that's also because he's a partnered content creator. You take like Soul definitely doesn't stream Tabor that much anymore. And at the end of the day, you know, it's that's just the state of it now. So what's my channel gonna look like in the future for any of you who haven't already clicked off upon realizing that I'm not going to make as much Tabor content anymore? Well, I'm going to be playing a lot of Resident Evil Requiem whenever that releases, so yes, I'm moving on to the flat screens side of things, you know. I I I mean, I actually started out playing video games on my phone. If you actually go to like some of like the oldest shit that I have on my channel, you'll find one autistic thing where like some YouTuber accidentally reviews his face and then I give the most autistic imaginable. And then you'll also find the original mobile update where they added a shotgun in Granny, which was something that was it was popular back then, but it got especially popular after, I don't know, fucking Queso or whoever started playing it. So I mean, in any case, yeah, this I'm just gonna be playing whatever games I want, and that may still include Tabor from time to time, but it won't be strictly Tabor from now on. And also you know, it may also include VR games that are not strictly Tabor. I may end up playing some single player games that are that I enjoy playing and such. You know, I already do have one VR video game that I do wanna try out. It's called Dread Meridian. It got released recently and it looks kind of good, so I wanted to check that out, but obviously it's not gonna be Tabor. So for any of you who wants to stick around strictly for Tabor, you may want to brace yourself for much less Tabor. And for anyone who actually still wants to stick around anyways, I'm incredibly grateful. Uh, you know, I personally do not see myself as entertaining. Every day I look at myself and I think, how the fuck have you gotten this far doing what you do and acting like a complete asshole, you know? And to that I answer, yeah, I wonder the same thing myself. Uh, so yeah, it's just don't the Tabor seems to have adjusted itself back into the sensible, you know, sensible, um, like the quests seem to be loading somewhat smooth now. Everything seems to be mostly fine, but at the end of the day, you know, it's trauma, or well, this is not at all inaccurate, but the truth of the matter is, once something has been done, it cannot be undone. It was the same thing with Veil. Once my impression of Veil tanked, it has never recovered since, and it will never recover. Of course, it has improved, but it will never go back to the point where it was beforehand, where I was completely head over heels for Vale, and the same thing will never happen again for Tabor. Because all it took was just one bad update at the start, and everything has just changed for the better or for the worse. But I hope you guys I hope you guys respect my opinion, or would at the very least, oh, for fuck's sake, you try to make a video, I guess. I hope you guys will at the very fucking god, dude. I hope you guys at the very least understand, or can, or well, not or I hope you guys can understand where I'm coming from when I say I don't want to constantly be making Tabora content anymore. I want to be making whatever I want, and I mean, to be fair, that's been what I'm doing. It's just that it got to a point where people were thinking that I was strictly a Tabor YouTuber, and I cannot abide by that, because the fact of the matter is I was never strictly a Tabor YouTuber. I was only playing it for a very long time. I will drop it at a whim if I must. It's like Jinxie with Clash Royale, even though that's a terrible fucking example. But I mean, he himself started to disagree with the way Clash Royale was going down the road with the way they were doing things, and he left too. And I mean, I'm not gonna once again, I'm not gonna be leaving Tabor. I'm just gonna be shelving it and not touching it as much. And yeah, this video will go up in 3 days from now. It's currently the 6th of February, and I have one more video lined up for tomorrow, which is, well, I don't actually remember what video it is, but it was a gun coverage video. That's gonna be the last proper video before this video. So to anyone who's interested and has watched that already, well, I hope you enjoyed that video, because that's probably it's not gonna be the last video of Tabor ever before this one, but it's definitely going to be the one that doesn't come from, a place of just I am so sick of this, I don't want to play this game anymore type beats. So, well, that's gonna be it for this video. I hope you all enjoy it, or well, there's nothing to really enjoy. This was a mainly incredibly negative video concerning the game, but I hope you guys will stick around for more of my content. I don't, like I said, I don't desperately need to hit my goals, but it would also be nice to actually earn just a little bit of side dosh from 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 YouTube, because that would be incredibly nice. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye, everyone.